Hello, my name is Riley Ray, and I have Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. Okay, so in case you didn't catch that, my name is Riley Ray, which is said it just a few seconds ago, and I spoke it out loud. So if you didn't get that, then you probably shouldn't continue watching because you're obviously not paying attention. Anyways, this is a channel dedicated to bringing awareness to obsessive compulsive disorder through my story with OCD and just some of my experiences. I changed my hair because it was looking a little bit funky. Also, ignore this crater because she's about to blow. But I can't do anything about that. Nor do I really care to do anything about that because everyone gets pimples. Anyways, I always get sidetracked, as you can see. I'm 16 years old. I'm in 10th grade in high school. Did I really just say that? Did I really just say 10th grade in high school? Like there's a 10th grade in elementary school. I'm also wearing my funky pants today. That's why I kind of look like a bum from the top. It kind of just looks like I'm in pajamas. But I'm not. This is my zebra chair. Oh my goodness. So in freshman year, 9th grade, obviously, I started to experience a depression. So I didn't really know that I was going through depression. I just knew I was always sad and I was losing interest in all of the activities that I had once loved. Musical theater, you can kind of see my wall. I have been doing musical theater since 6th grade.
I don't care if he's a nobody. In my heart, he'll be a somebody.
So I started going through this depression where I was like crying every night and it was just a terrible time. But I kept it to myself because I didn't really know what was wrong, and I thought I must be stupid because you know, the stigma around mental health makes it seem like it's your fault if you're feeling a certain way. So because of that, I didn't say anything for a year. And then in the summer, this past summer of 2017, it got to be a little bit too much. So I told my parents and we went to the emergency room actually because it got really bad. I needed to talk to someone right then and there. So we went to the emergency room and I talked to somebody for about an hour, a nurse therapist, I don't know what she was. But they gave us, after, I'm just like pulling all the hair out of my brush, which is so gross. Oh my gosh. So once I got done talking to somebody, they referred me to a intensive outpatient program, which was something that began during the school year for me in September. And basically I would leave school 3 days a week and go there for 3 hours a day, which would mean 9 hours a week. So I began at the program and they obviously diagnosed major depressive disorder and some generalized anxiety. They also added in the possible diagnosis, they threw it out there, of obsessive compulsive disorder because I was telling my weekly therapist there about these intrusive thoughts that I was having. An intrusive thought is a image or scenario or just a thought in general that can pop into your head without you wanting to have it. Everybody has intrusive thoughts, so say, you're walking down the street and you think, oh my gosh, I could totally get hit with a car right now. But you can dismiss it as that's not going to happen. I'm going to stay on the sidewalk and I'm not going to get hit by a car, right? Somebody with OCD cannot dismiss it like that. It will stay in their mind for a very long time. Once I have a thought, it doesn't really ever go away. So those are intrusive thoughts. I'll get into that. There's a whole other thing with intrusive thoughts. They are terrible, absolutely terrible. That'll be a whole another video though. I don't think that was English. That will be a whole nother, that's not a word, but I just made it up, video though. I think a lot of people say nother, right? Yeah. So I was in the IOP, intensive outpatient program, for about 3 weeks until I was admitted to a partial hospitalization program because I wasn't able to be in school anymore. My thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, were too severe to be able to sit in a classroom and function throughout the day on my own. So partial, it's basically a school that is temporary, usually about 5 to 7 weeks. You go to partial and you go there every day, just like a normal school day. About 4 hours of the day are dedicated to group therapy, and 2 hours of the day are dedicated to your school time. So with my partial, you would have like 2 hours study hall time, and there was a teacher. She was an excellent teacher. She would kind of help you. Your school would send you over stuff, and the teacher there would help you out with your work. While I was in partial, they tried several different medications, which all have their own wonderful side effects on my little brain. That was so weird. Okay. All those medications were going on, and they were also throwing a lot of diagnoses around. We weren't really sure exactly because the medicine was messing with me, so some of the things I was experiencing were not actual symptoms. They were just side effects from medication. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad that, you know, we wrote out all those medications, because that was really wonderful experience, those side effects. While at partial, what happened, it was a great program. I am so thankful for my experience there. All of the, you know, the employees there, the staff, they're kind of the same thing, but that feels weird. Employees, I feel like I'm talking about like SpongeBob or something, like employee of the month. All the staff there and the therapists were very, very understanding, and I met a lot of cool people too, and hearing their stories were really helpful. That's my cheetah robe, by the way. I just realized it's kind of like hanging there. I really like animal prints. Not really, it's kind of a joke. All the staff there was really wonderful, but because of all the medications they were trying and taking me off of and on, we didn't really get to treat the main problem, which was my OCD. I was in partial for 10 weeks, which is much longer than most people stay there. Double, actually, of what some people stay at partial for. So when I got back to school, it was kind of like, I feel like crap still, and I don't know what to do about it. So I started seeing my current therapist, which I was very, very reluctant about. When I left partial, I had a little bit of problem with attachment. So when I left partial, it really set me back. And finding a new therapist was difficult for me to, you know, move on from my therapist at partial to a new one. But I'm so grateful for my current therapist. She is a wonderful woman. Once I started therapy with her, we were working on, you know, treating depression and the thoughts, and she had in her notes OCD, but I had not known this. So, when was this? This was probably in February. It's April now. So in February, I went to a children's hospital because I was having neurological symptoms. You know, my eyesight was, I wear glasses, but I usually wear contacts. So when I would wear my contacts, my eyes would go like, it felt like they were actually crossing. So then we thought it's just the contacts. But when I wore my glasses, the same thing was happening. We went to an eye doctor appointment before we went to children's hospital, and my prescription had not changed. So my eyes were blurring. I was having this insane pressure in my head. The intrusive thoughts were just terrible. You know, I'd be sitting in class and all of a sudden, some of them were just weird, like an image of, oh my gosh, an image of Angelina Jolie just like popped into my head, like with her with a monkey on her shoulder. Like, that's so weird. And that one was like a funny one, but they're usually not funny. So they're very, very disruptive to my day. So we went to children's because we were afraid like there could be something underlying, you know, that's the reason for all of this and all the depression and anxiety and all that stuff. So I stayed there for 2 nights, did a lot of brain tests. They did an EKG. Yeah, it's called an EKG. Yeah, an EKG. They did a few MRIs, and turns out there is nothing wrong with my brain. So, you know, when I heard that, I'm like, oh my goodness, and I must be crazy. I seriously must be crazy. Well, the psychiatrist who was there she said, you have obsessive compulsive disorder. And she explained to me how whenever somebody has, you know, like anxiety, or they're really stressed, some people have symptoms of heart attack. You know, some people think that they're actually having a heart attack. For me, my OCD was getting so bad that I was having physical symptoms, and that happens too. So I was having a headache because my brain was on overdrive all the time. So that was the first official diagnosis of OCD in February, and once that was diagnosed, the treatment began with my current therapist. So there's my little, that's a brief story. I have a lot of little things I'd like to share in other videos, obviously, but that's kind of the gist of it, and not really though, when I think of it. I've had OCD all my life, which I hadn't recognized until they really officially diagnosed it, and I realized, oh my goodness, those things I used to do when I were a kid were not normal. They were my OCD. I have a name for my OCD. Her name is Shannon from, it's based on the actress Shannon Doherty.
Our audience is really into the show. You get a little paranoid because you get psycho people writing to you too.
You know her, she's in a show I used to watch called Charmed with like the 3 witches. She's known for being a little bit of a diva. So I named my OCD Shannon because, you know, my OCD's a diva. Magic transformation, because yesterday my cousins came over, so I couldn't finish the video, and also I look a little bit like a troll. My bed's actually made today. I look a bit like a troll because I just got back from an amusement park. The crater is still there. It's actually worse today. This one was kind of boring for our first video, but I just had to, like, you know, get my stuff out there because otherwise you'd be like, who is this girl and who does she think she is? But my plans for this channel, I have pretty good plans that I hope will help people with obsessive compulsive disorder, and I'll also include other things, not just OCD related. It'll mostly be focused on OCD because I think that OCD is often not, that's the word. It's often overlooked because people sometimes think that OCD is not what OCD actually is. People say, oh, I'm a little bit OCD about that. Like, I'm a little bit OCD about my room. Things have to be in order. Being a little bit OCD is not possible. You're basically saying, I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive disorder. Do you hear yourself? Because you sound stupid. Or the memes where it says, like, if this bothers you, you have OCD. What? 1, I just wonder where people get their information. 2, that's wrong. Because that doesn't bother me at all. And also, I think that, well, I just broke that. And no, that doesn't bother me. I think that people, I know that some people say, oh, well, if she has OCD, you'd be able to tell because her room would be completely in order and she'd be very, like, particular about the way she sets things up. That's not always true. I know with me and my OCD, yeah, I have little compulsions like that where things have to be in order, but doesn't mean my room's completely in order. I mean, my room's a mess. Well, not right now because I just cleaned it. A lot of OCD is the inside stuff, the things that no one would know if you didn't speak them out loud, you know, the obsessive thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, and just all that stuff. There's so much more to OCD than people really know. And I just think bringing awareness to that is important because it's a terrible disease. And I think people underestimate it sometimes because it's like, oh, well, it's not that. At least OCD is not that bad. At least it's not a major disorder like schizophrenia. Yeah, schizophrenia is really severe, but I mean, doesn't make OCD any better. You don't want any disorder. So in my future videos, I'm going to get into, you know, some of my things and how I deal with them and just some information regarding intrusive thoughts, compulsions, obsessions, all things like that that go along with OCD, you know, the questions that run through your mind, how to talk back to your OCD, things like that. I'm still learning this. So thanks for watching. I'm going to take a nap because I'm tired, and I'll see you guys later.